This episode is brought to you by Coffee Mate. Coffee Mate is the world's biggest coffee lover because we love all the ways you enjoy. Wait. Coffee Mate can't love coffee more than me. I'm a foodie. I went to Kyoto just for a nitro matcha latte. What? Oh, I have to finish the ad. Coffee Mate, for the love of coffee.
Your teen requested a ride, but this time not from you. It's through their Uber teen account. You drive your teenager around, a lot, to their friend Jacob's house, their other friend Jake's house, to James's, to Jaden's, to Jalen's, to...
Mom? This is Jake's house, not Jacob's.
Now with an Uber teen account, your teen can request a ride under your supervision. They'll ride with a highly rated driver, and with live trip tracking, you'll follow along the whole ride to their friends' houses that all sound the same. Add your teen to your Uber account today. See app for details.
Bye, Mom.
I'm Sandra, and I'm just the professional your small business was looking for. But you didn't hire me because you didn't use LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn has professionals you can't find anywhere else, including those who aren't actively looking for a new job, but might be open to the perfect role, like me.
In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you'll miss out on great candidates, like Sandra. Start hiring professionals like a professional. Post your free job on linkedin.com/achieve today.
ABCs. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every single Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. Wait, no. We're going in reverse order now. Reverse order now. Reverse, yes. I'm
feeling a lot of remorse about this reverse course.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Course is of course.
Well, we're going in reverse order now, so I guess we kind of flip that.
Oh, did you do it just for this song, Tracy?
It sounded like an accident.
Did you plan that around just for this song?
You're number one too, Tracy. You're number one.
How did you like that? Yeah, I flipped you off.
Oh,
this guy.
Friggin' sausages over there.
He's so aggressive. He's making me talk like walking.
Oh, no.
Calm down, Tracy. What's going on?
Oh, well, I was just getting ready to talk about Flip.
You don't have to flip out like that, man.
Flipping the bird. Bird.
And as you can hear, I have the full contingency tonight. I have Heidi, suspects. Aaron, and Betsy.
Hello.
Hello.
Clarice.
Happy to see you
And
again.
tonight we're going to be discussing Flip from the album DeTour De Force. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Flip! If you have not heard this song before, where the hell have you been for the last 3 years? But here is a quick snippet.
Come on, Flip. Bend a little bit. Maybe get wise to a new tip. Come on, Flip. Take a little trip. See another side of the same ship. This is the church. This is the steeple. Turn up the lights. See all my people. Come on, Flip. Take it for a rip. You're never gonna fly till you lose your grip.
This has been a hit then? This has been a single?
This was their first single off this album.
That makes sense. This sounds like a single.
Yes. And so it was written by Ed and Kevin Griffin.
I did see that.
So yeah, it's written by Edward. It was written by Ed and Kevin Griffin.
Yes.
And it is the first song on this album. I want to start out by saying I think this is a good album starter.
Yeah. Kick things off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that drum fill to begin.
I can be a little devil.
Really gets the attention and gives a run to the album.
I mentioned not that fill, but the one, the post-bridge fill.
Come on, Flip.
In my notes. I noticed they were giving Tyler some space to explore, which I was happy about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I love what he's doing when he's given that space.
The final frontier.
Tyler, come on the show and talk about space.
Well,
yeah, we left a space for you.
Considering how much space we just...
Neil deGrasse Tyson, please come on the show. We know you listen. Star Talk. Let's make this happen.
So talking about space, we had a big space in the discussion there for a second. So why don't I hand it over to Aaron and Heidi while I figure out where we're going with this, and you guys can do the breakdown.
Sure thing. Oh, Heidi, you're muted.
You feel free, Aaron.
All right. Well, I'll share my
Heidi
discovery.
has struggled with the homework this week because Heidi's
That's okay, Heidi.
Heidi's giving homework.
I struggled with the homework for my entire school career, so you can have a little.
Well, I
slack
am
now
the
and
professor, so
yeah, that's true.
And Marianne.
I can't
anyways,
get a fun.
Flip. Flip was recorded at 89 beats per minute by my reckoning, and is in the key of B flat major, which is extremely well established in the chorus.
Yes.
Now,
I do have the same thing, B flat.
Yeah, they're really hitting it hard. The verse is B flat to D minor to G minor. Arguably, you could trim this down to 2 chords and just say the D minor is more of like a flourish or a bass motion. So very simple, 2 or 3 chords bouncing back and forth, like a 1-3-6 or a 1-6. And then you have B flat F, which is a 4/5 turnaround.
Weird.
Because it's interesting. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they're kind of
my hits don't stink.
kind of just-
Yeah, it goes that E flat.
they're dancing around it, and then they finally go and hammer on hard.
But it goes D minor to E to F, so that makes sense. D, E, F, right up.
Yeah, it's like an ascension. Yeah, and then, it's very simple. Ed's doing his Canadian dad rap thing, and it's very much the standard kind of like upbeat country pop rock song that we've come to expect. When all of the sudden, wait, what's this?
Wait for it.
The chorus.
What's this?
B flat to F,
Flip!
to C minor to E flat, 1-5-2-6. Now, or rather 1-5-2-4. Is this a particularly interesting or weird or unusual chord change here? No, this is one of the most well-established, well-trodden paths in the history of pop, rock, country, Western popular music. And
cliche.
For good reason. For good reason, though. Yeah, like sometimes things are cliche for a reason. So I remember, for instance, when Aerosmith released 9 Lives. And by that time, I was not really huge into Aerosmith. Their transmogrification into like epic rock balladeers was already kind of complete by that point. But I do remember the song "Hole in My Soul," and it has a chorus that does the same chord changes. Not the same chords, but it's the same. It's the same chord. It's the same scalar points they're hitting. So it's the same progression. And the chorus of that song is so good. I hate that I like it so much. It's sort of like furiously pressing the serotonin button. It's being like really unsubtle. It's being like, hey, listen to this traditionally pleasing chord progression. But damn if I don't love the chorus of that song. I think actually probably a better example now that I think about it in retrospect would have been Closing Time by Semisonic, because the entire damn song is that chord change with the exception of the bridge. Anyways, that's a very roundabout way to say that it's a very well-established chord, chord changes, chord progression. Then we get into the bridge, which is C minor to F to B flat to E flat. So we have 2-5-1-4. And by the way, at the end of that bridge, as I mentioned, Tyler gets a little featured fill. It's not a drum solo, but it's like an extended fill when nothing else is playing. I like when they give the drummer a chance to show off a little, so I appreciated that. The form is verse 1, which is your A changes, chorus, your B changes, verse 2 A, chorus B, bridge C, chorus B again. So A, B, A, B, C, B is what I got. That correspond to your analysis?
Yes, exactly the same. I was a little worried because I was like, am I right?
It's really simple, but yeah.
Really simple. Yep. Yes, sirree, Aaron.
Is anyone here familiar with the classic PlayStation game Parappa the Rapper?
Yes.
I'm afraid
You've played it in front of me several times.
Yeah, I think you've played it before. You played it on stream before, I want to say.
Yes. And we talked about it when we talked about Pollywog and the Bog.
We did, which is interesting because in my mind, this is a weird analogy perhaps, but I kind of compare this to Pollywog and the Bog just because they're both hitting the serotonin button.
Yeah.
Really hard, you know what I mean? They're very much pleasing to the ear in a very simple but very good kind of way.
I wonder if there's ever been a study about serotonin levels
There must have
and
been.
major chord progressions.
I could legitimately feel it.
I mean, we all
washing
know
over
that
me.
D minor is the saddest of all keys.
Yes,
but
precisely. Nigel Tufnell taught us.
Yes, and he had that classic "Lick My Love Pump" in the key
very sad,
minor, very
emotional
sad
song. Yeah.
So,
well, if they haven't done that yet, you're a music major. I'm a psych major. We should make this
good. I'll do a whole. I have to do a research project eventually because I'm up for tenure this year. So
we
there
could
you
all
go.
be published authors.
We could be
this project by the Bare Naked ABC. But no, anyways, I bring it up because there was a sequel to Parappa, which much less well-known game called Jammer Lammy. It's like the rock guitar version of Parappa. Not the entire song, but the intro to Flip, like basically the first verse where it's just guitar, voice, and drums, and then the bass line kind of comes in halfway through. It reminds me of one of those kind of rhythm games. And again, that's same kind of energy as Pollywog in a Bog. It's got that, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's very light. It's very, there's nothing earth-shattering or world-changing about this song, but it just definitely appeals to kind of the tropes that we look for, I think, sometimes in this kind of music.
well put. Well done, sister suffragettes.
Votes for women, step in time.
Well done, sister suffragettes.
Nicely done.
You did great. That was great.
Well,
thanks. I
tried.
appreciate it. Horrible, terrible.
Betsy, what did you think of the song,
here.
musically speaking?
I was just looking at the word flippant to refresh my memory, and I'm like, this song might be flippant.
It's a little flippant.
A little flippant, but
it is called Flip. So
I know. I'm just reaching out and grasping for straws here. But
well, people say flip to mean flippant. I don't think that's too far off.
No,
maybe.
I don't think so either. Are you being flip? Didn't that used to be a thing too? Wasn't that used
being flip?
Flip or flop?
Don't be flip.
I mean, it
Flip
sounds
or
like
flop.
something from Mr. Cotter's, from Welcome Back, Cotter. But did I just age myself again? You being flip?
Maybe.
Back.
Oh, or Flip Wilson. Either way, boy, I just went down even
there we go,
older
yes.
there.
Flip Wilson.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I am.
So I want to point out there's some really cool instrumentation on this song.
What?
So we've got Kevin who's playing his continuum. So
I
on the
love that continuum.
SelfieCamJam,
The space-time
we
continuum.
can see him playing it. It sounds like the space-time continuum. Like he's doing all kinds of doops and dops all over the place.
Beeps and boops.
Various
and
doops and
Pants and
doops.
boots and pants.
Boots and beats. Wait.
But he's also playing the piano, which on the SelfieCamJam version you can hear the piano so much stronger, and I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we have been kind of alluding to this flippantly, but there's a lot of use. I brought it back. There's a lot of use of space in this, and I talked about it with the drum fill and stuff like that. It's not one of those. It's not like a totally stark, stripped down, just acoustic and voice song, but it doesn't fill up the entire wall of sound all the time. It has a decent, nice kind of dynamic soundscape.
Yeah. No, it comes and goes. Like you get this big sound, but then it pulls back during the verse.
Yeah, it kicks it up a notch in the chorus, which is cool because that's when it really hammers on the serotonin button.
Well, and it starts off like we have them adding in one instrument at a time throughout the beginning of this song, which I really like too. Like Jim's not playing at the very beginning, but then he kicks in after halfway through the first verse.
Yeah, that's the thing I really like in songs. The song "Girl" by Beck does that too, and it's really nice when the bass kind of starts to land and just everything kind of kicks up a notch a bit. Yeah. So wait, I think we got sidetracked because I was asking Bets what she thought about the song, musically speaking. We can talk about lyrics in a moment, but did you have any particular thoughts?
I mean, it's a lot similar to what you guys were saying. It feels I hate to say it. It feels a little phoned in.
Okay.
It feels a little kind of pre-made, kind of insert your generic song here, but the lyrics help it, I would say. I do like that it builds.
Oh.
Tracy.
Opposite for Tracy, I'm guessing.
Flipping our scores.
I was gonna go with the exact opposite. I felt it was very BNL for the music, but that the lyrics were very phoned in.
I disagree with that, but I want to let. Look, you and I are just gonna have to agree that you're wrong. So wait, so Betsy, you were saying you liked how it was like kind of building up.
Like you guys were saying, it I really love it when Tyler gets a chance to shine because he's so good, and he's such a good improv guy.
Yeah,
and he's like
he
never
drummer.
disappoints. Like he's got so much creativity, he's got so much experience that just give him a chance and he'll take off with it. So I'm glad that he got some moments in here, and I'm glad that it. Oh, I thought it was. I thought we were going offline there for a second. Sorry. No, so that's. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say music wise. The bass line in the beginning, it was so not staccato. It was more just very like punchy that I even questioned like that sounds like a bass line, but are they doing it on like some sort of synth or something, because it was
could have been like a keyboard
it was
bass,
so punchy. So but that's what I got for music anyway. Hey Tyler.
Yeah, hey Tyler.
So the reason you were talking about Tyler, and so the reason I pulled Tyler up is he's playing the drums with. You can't see it so well here. I bet if I hit play,
those look like hot rods or cool rods or like thunder rods. There's little bundles of like tiny bamboo.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
that's
they're somewhere. Well, it depends on the size. The big ones are like thunder rods. The smaller ones are hot rods. The even smaller ones are cool rods. They're using jazz a lot because they're kind of a happy medium between brushes, which are very very soft. And sticks, which can be a little too heavy and hard sometimes, especially for like smaller jazz combos.
Well, and it gives this little bit of a rattle to it, like when they're hitting together when you hit.
Yeah, it changes the sound.
I think is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
It's my new favorite thing that Tyler uses. So I also want to point out that we have some trombone and trumpet on this song as well. Which we don't get, of course, during the SelfieCamJam, but it is nice to have kind of in the background. I wish that was actually a little bit louder on the recording. But Ernesto Barahoma and Tom Moffat and Michael Ray are playing amazing on their instruments, and I want to give them some shout-outs there as well.
Oh, the band is tight. I don't know. Come on now.
Tight like a toidle, like a tiger.
Tight like a toiga. So was there anything, Heidi, did you have anything else to add to the music before we talked about the lyrics?
Not really. I think you nailed that pretty well. Well done.
Oh, donkey.
I just want to say that I really like the guitar riff that's going on.
Yeah, nice and bouncy. The whole song's got a bounce to it. Like Pollywog, like bouncing along like a frog.
It's simple but bouncy, so it makes you want to keep listening to it.
Yeah, it's got a feel good quality to it.
I also like the flip. I don't know, and it's kind of lyrics, it's kind of music because the way they're doing it. I like them yelling out the flip. My question though is who is singing flip, because if you watch them during the SelfieCamJam or live versions, the only person moving their lips is Jim. And Kevin isn't pushing any buttons over at the piano. So all I can think is that this must be a pre-recorded piece that they handled up at the mixing board or something.
It's possible.
It's possible.
I mean, Eric Ratz is given on this song. He's giving credit for loops and additional programming.
That would probably
and
be it.
I'm guessing that's got to be what it is.
They probably had some backing vocals ready to go if they played it to a
I'm
click.
thinking it's got to be like Tyler's Girls or Jim's Kids or something, because it's also got really high.
I can hear Ed in there, but I don't know if they've mixed that or something, so that it's a different sound. But yeah.
Okay, well, given all that, then I guess that's a good transition into discussing the lyrics of this song and what this song's about, which is where I think we're going to have a little controversy. So let's talk about it. Who would like to start?
Well, it sounded like Betsy had some pretty important things to say about the lyrics, so I volunteer you.
Wow, did you see that bus go flying by?
Hey, fellow penguin.
Today I've been run over.
Fellow penguin, I see that big hole of really icy cold water. Why don't you test it out for us?
Yeah, dip my toe in. Let's see. So lyrically, I like this song better than musically, even though the music was fine.
Right.
It was fine. But the lyrics, they're not the best Bare Naked Ladies lyrics, but they do have like the wittiness that I hope for whenever I hear a Bare Naked Ladies song. So, everything's sellable, whether you're animal or vegetable or mineral. And,
I like that rhyming scheme.
That's cute. Yeah. And there was some sort of jingle about animal, vegetable, minerals, some sort of thing like in, I don't know, chemistry.
Oh,
some science-based.
I think
wasn't there?
You're thinking of Modern Major General.
I am the very model of a modern Major General. Live information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the facts historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical.
From the Pirates of Penzance.
I think you're right.
Which is, I love that song.
Thank you for digging deep into my brain to retrieve that and then cross-referencing it somehow.
My alien...
Make sure you suture her back up.
Musical telepathy. No,
I just like to leave it open. Yeah. Easier that way. So
let it air out.
Go back in. Yeah, that's right. No abscesses or anything.
But yeah, it's got that quality for sure.
There are some really cool rhyme schemes in there. Like he's not just sticking to A B.
Rhyme schemes and like the timing of it. Yeah, just like really mixing up the meter of it.
Like I like the playfulness of this is the church, this is the steeple.
This is the steeple.
I hate that line.
I might be able to change your mind, Tracy.
I love that line.
The church. How do you do it? The church.
This is the church. This is the church. This is the steeple. Open the door and there are no people.
And here's the people.
Well, yes. But I like it when BNL makes a play on words and doesn't just
Tracy.
But they did. They said, turn off the lights, see all my people.
It's more than. Hold on. Let me cut you off at the pass.
I'm gonna punch up on this.
Okay. Take him.
He missed an opportunity. I want to punch this up. Here's my.
He did miss one. I have one too. So you go first.
Here's my church offering. I think it would have been more powerful if he had said, "This is my church. This is my steeple." Meaning the auditorium, the group, his crowd. Turn on the lights, see all my people. That would have been a stronger turn on that phrase.
I'll have to let that one marinate. But I did have one now that you mentioned it. Sorry, go ahead, Bets.
Well, like when he did like the live the pandemic ones that they
this SelfieCamJam.
Yeah, SelfieCamJams. So he was gesturing outside. So maybe the outside is his church and his steeple. So like maybe like to get ideas for songs, he spends time where he's comfortable, like outside or something. Is what I was thinking for that. What are you?
Whoa!
Are you downing me?
Aaron.
Son of a bitch.
I was not sounding Tracy.
Well,
I was being quiet and polite.
Well, it's just
not you.
Hold on.
No, me for you.
Inoffensive me.
Yay! See,
replace
there we go.
You're not even seeing it. You missed it.
Wait, I missed it. Did Heidi flip me
I was
off?
trying to pull my thoughts together, you
I'm
guys.
sending you all this
shit.
love and celebration. This is for Betsy. There we go.
Oh,
No, that was definitely for Tracy because he's wrong.
Okay.
Well, here's my.
Can we?
You know what? I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, Betsy.
Before we do anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in some sort of litigation.
Please, my client has not finished giving her statement yet, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Colonel Angus. So
did you say Colonel?
I think that's all I really was going to say. Colonel Angus. Colonel Angus.
I'm going to lose it.
I was just thinking that, like, he gets his inspiration, he makes up his songs where he's comfortable outside with his family, whatever, and then he kind of digests that, processes it, and then turn up the lights, see all my people. Like, it comes into fruition as a song, and he's presenting it to where, like, where is people, and he loves us and stuff. Happily ever after.
So my whole take on this song started with a misheard lyric. So I'm owning that before I do anything else. But it does kind of. I do think my misheard lyric is better. So I'm letting yours marinate, Tracy. Y'all can tell me what you think of mine.
Let it tenderize.
So now I got to prelude this. This will doubtless come as a shock to you all, but I am in fact part goth. I did one of those DNA tests, and confusingly,
glad I'm sitting down.
Confusingly, the percentage of the pie chart that went to me that said goth was 0. Now I know that was a mistake because all day long I think about sacking Rome. But the important part is I can
maybe you're Visigoth.
could be. I'm very visibly goth. No, I think I'm invisibly goth.
And he's the invisible goth. Yeah.
I've been assured the lyric, and I saw in the music video, they had the flip book, is "Come on, flip, bend a little bit." But when I first heard this song, I heard "Come on, flip into the abyss." And I think that would have fit much better depending on how you interpret the song. Surprise, surprise. I think this is a happy atheist song. I dare say, I don't mean to speak for Ed. Ed, we know you listen. Please come on the show and talk philosophy with us. I think Ed might be espousing an absurdist worldview because it's this sort of happy, bittersweet, romantic notion of like carving out your own existence, defining yourself, living on your own terms. And I think there's something beautiful in that. So, like, on the bridge, Exhibit A, Ed sings, "Oh, look at the stars. Some of them are long gone, and yet there they are." And so it goes.
That's my favorite part.
Because we believe it, it doesn't make it so. Which, again, finding beauty and wonder in nature and the cosmos, right? Acknowledging that maybe there are some childish things we need to put away, if you'll permit me the venial sin of paraphrasing a Bible quote. To make my secular humanist point, if we're going to want to evolve, I could be a little devil or I could be a little saint, and the old, as we reference, this is the church, this is the steeple rhyme. So I think, the fun, bouncy nature of this song could cause one to overlook these things, but I say this is a pattern, and I think Ed is trying to have a little fun, but also kind of couch a message that he doesn't want to come across as preachy in maybe lighter terms.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with it. I think that's a good take on it. That's
the way
not the
you're
take
prefacing it makes
I'm not
it
disagreeing,
sound like you are.
but I kind of disagree.
But I hear what you're saying. However,
I see you, and I
think
hear
it's
you.
a really good take. And I'm going to let that simmer and kind of marinate myself because I like that. Okay. That take on it a little bit as well, especially with some of the lyrics that don't quite don't work with the take that I was going with, and that's my problem that I have with this song, is that I feel like this song, at least from the point of view that I've always taken this song from, it's like 3 songs in one, and not musically but lyrically. I feel like he's hitting on too many points and not making any of them lyrically. So I think that the song is kind of a statement, because this happened just after COVID. And there was a lot of controversy going on around COVID at that time, especially a lot of people not listening to each other. There was a lot of people that were. It's when we, as a society, became much more divided and polarized. And I think his point of this song is kind of being like, we need to listen to each other and give each other a little grace in the process and be able to hear the other people's arguments and thoughts.
I can see that with the bend a little bit, maybe get wise to a new tip, but I still think that fits in with the idea of letting go of religion or, maybe an ingrained belief. You could probably spin it out to something more general than just religion. But yeah, I certainly think politics could, given how weirdly infused the two have become in our country, potentially be a subset of that.
Yeah. And one, I think, like, the bridge is what always kind of really made me feel that way with it, with the lines of, like, just because you believe it doesn't make it so.
Right.
But I also see how that fits in with your interpretation as well. I'm just trying to say, like, that was not the interpretation I came in with, but I also like it.
Well, I like this idea. If we can return to Betsy's flippant or flip attitude, kind of, hitting in that vein. What else would you say about that if you had the opportunity?
Well, it seems I have the opportunity now. Yeah, I mean, I guess it does kind of harken back to maybe this is a bit flippant, but I think he's kind of like when a cat plays with a mouse. He's just kind of flipping it around, kind of like maybe unearthing something that might be controversial, but in a palatable way, so that people are like listening to it because it's chipper and it's catchy. I like the ideas that he's throwing out, like, am I too cynical or a bit too clinical? Maybe that pinnacle's unwinnable, subliminal, original sin. Like, I mean, I think the best conversations I've ever had are conversations where people are truly, like, listening because they're throwing things out like, I don't know, what do you think about this? This is what I think, but I'm, welcoming your opinion, and then, kind of making it like a safe space to talk about things because he's keeping things light.
That's
so
a really
that
good point.
Kind of brings down people's wall.
It's not like
and
saying just
like, let's just bounce off each other and say, well, how about this? What does this perspective make sense to you? And does, have you considered this?
So I sent the article that I had read.
Have you let Jesus into your heart?
What, Betsy?
I said, have you let Jesus into your heart?
Jesus, let Jesus into your heart. What was the So Saith the Lord one that opens, what song is it?
It's in the middle of the song. It's at the bridge.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
Gordon or something. And so.
Oh.
It's on Maybe You Should Drive.
That's right. But
the song comes to a complete stop, and then they throw that line in, and then they continue on.
So we should probably put this in our show notes today, but he did a whole article with Atwood magazine, and he talks specifically about this and says basically it was a very toxic time in American politics especially, and it felt like there was no discussion and zero room for nuance. Flip is about expanding your viewpoint to find common ground and have productive dialogue. Will you listen to views you don't agree with? Can you try to understand them even if you don't see eye to eye? And basically he's like, it's not about changing sides. This is what Ed says. It's not about changing sides. It's about flipping your perspective so that you can at least understand another point of view. It's about understanding confirmation bias,
empathy,
and anti-intellectual echo chambers. I'm a lefty by nature, but I don't think conservative people are monsters, and I don't think branding them as such does anything to advance my causes. In fact, I think it only increases the likelihood of never making progress. So I try to understand why people feel the way they do and think of a way to explain my position to them that isn't dismissive of theirs or threatening to them. So, and there's a lot more in the article, but I was like, good. Yeah.
Oh, so sort of like what I was doing with Aaron earlier about his explanation and point of view of it.
They mention original sin too, so that's another point backing me up.
Yes.
Original sin.
Actually, there's a lot of religious,
extra crispy, extra tasty.
a lot of religious statements in this song which go along with what you were saying, Aaron.
Well, I've always, I'm a big fan of the, those Cheez-Its, those snacks. So I always wanted my own personal Cheez-Its.
Own personal.
Depeche Mode, we know you listen to come on the show.
What I really like that Ed says later, though, is we live, and this is true.
Getting extra toasty.
Even today, we live in a time where people seem to just dig deeper into their own trenches without any willingness to see another viewpoint or engage in discussion. It's all yelling and no listening. And I like that saying. I love this. We were given one mouth and two ears, most of it. And we're supposed to use them proportionally.
And you can't use them both at the same time.
Some people can speak out of their mouth and their asshole at the same
Listen
time.
and silence use the same letters.
Some people are really good at it.
Sounds the same.
Wait, it reminds me of, here's the weird hipster reference for them. Return to Oz, TikTok with the robot that has the three different gears. You wind up his thinking, you wind up his speech, you wind up his action. Well, his thinking ran down, but his speech was still going, so he was just kind of babbling. And Jack says to Dorothy, how can he speak without thinking? And she says, it happens to people all the time.
And actually, if I remember correctly, that's actually in the book as well.
Yeah, that's from Ozma of Oz, I think.
I haven't gotten to that book.
That movie was closer to L. Frank Baum's tone, I think, than the musical, even though I love the musical.
Yes.
The
other thing that kind of corresponds to what you were saying, Aaron, is the line, it's criminal to think, which is, in fact, what the Catholic Church for a long time did.
It's a sin to have those sinful thoughts, Thought crime.
Well, and it's a crime. Galileo was kicked out of heaven because he disagreed with
so there you go, So, so not definitively saying, but I think there's a lot of religious allusions made in this song, and I just think knowing Ed to the extent that I understand what he believes, it seems to make sense to me.
And I do want to say I like the song "Am I Coming Off Like My Hits Don't?"
That was a great line, actually.
Great line.
Nice
but
change on
then
shit.
I started thinking about Ed's poop. And I didn't like
that's not a pleasant visual, but it's a great little pun on greatest hits, greatest misses.
I also like that he talks about this. He works with Kevin Griffin because he wrote this specifically for concert. He wrote it so that it could be an arena. He calls it an arena banger, because it's about call and response, and you're going to get the audience involved. And we've all seen this song played live, and when the lights go up and everybody's shouting back, it is really cool. And you never really thought about you're writing a song specifically with a concert setting in mind, that it's going to be an energizer, a great concert opener. People will be singing in response to you. Like, I really love that.
And it's a really important message to get out there and to kind of, spread through a concert and everything, and get people to.
You've got fans on every side, from every age group, from every. Oh, sure. I mean, so you. And all of them are in an arena together, enjoying something together, and hopefully getting a message together that we're all human, and we all should, we should appreciate other people's humanity, and have a respect for humanity in general, and just start listening to each other and not be so quick to say, oh, you support so-and-so, so you must be this, or you agree with this, so you must be evil, or you agree with this, so you must be stupid. It's such garbage.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder. We tend to think of empathy as sort of an innate quality that people have or don't. But I think it's a skill. It really is something you work at, and it comes more naturally to some people than others, just like any other skill. Some people pick up a basketball and just intuitively understand how to throw it through a hoop. Some people can sit down and kind of learn the piano quicker than others, or a language or something. I think some people are, it's that emotional intelligence. Some people are able to kind of pick up on other people's feelings and understand their point of view a little more easily. But I think anyone can do it, and it just requires effort. And I wish we would all put more effort into that.
I think a lot of cultures are innately empathic or unempathic too. Some it's very cultural.
Like cultural factors encourage or discourage certain things for sure.
Yeah, and as a person that works in this field, yes, empathy can be taught. Matter of fact,
we also have a lot of neurodivergent students too that they have no filter, they have no gray area, and they're very they don't understand sarcasm, and they also have a lack of empathy because they can't process that as a feeling or a piece of information that they need to think about differently. So, yeah.
Aaron's doing a hand painting.
Perhaps what we should derive from this song is that we should all try and make the world a place where it's easier for people to kind of make that effort, or make it an environment that encourages people to do that more.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Well done.
Motion passes.
Guys have it. Yes.
And now we come to the Trouble with Tracy.
Party poopa.
No, listen
Party
to
pooper
me.
in the house.
Give me a chance.
Welcome to my house. My
Party
house.
pooper.
Party pooper in the
Every
steeple.
party needs a pooper. That's why we invited
Shit
you.
on
Party
the steeple.
pooper.
It rolls
You're not
down.
being very empathetic right now.
Yeah, let's flip the
You're
script on
being
this.
honest.
Still talking.
Tracy, please grace our ears with your mind thoughts.
Please. With your mind.
Your brain candy.
Your brain candy, please share.
Your brain candy. So may I have a lick? Let's go. How many looks does it
Started off the rails, just like that meme. How it started, how it's going. It's just the train is
going.
off the rails, and it's even more off the rails.
Dumpster fire floating by in a river.
I'm going to ask for a moment just so that way you guys, so that I can get my thought across.
Ourselves. Okay.
Yeah, but it has to be all
I
at
may be
once.
wrong.
I just took my moment, but then other people are talking, and so now we're just gonna have to all take a collective moment. Can we take?
There is one line in this song that really irks me.
Okay.
And I try to let it go every time, and every time it comes up, it irks me again.
Oh, I know what it is. I'm sure I know.
Go ahead, Betsy. I bet you do.
I gotta find it. It's the is or isn't, is you is or is you ain't.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I know you.
It drives me nuts
that
every
is you
time.
is or is you ain't my baby.
Yeah, that's an illusion. That's a reference.
Okay, yes, it's the Louis Jordan. Maybe he's making a Louis Jordan reference
100%.
there, but
Oh, obviously.
I don't like it because the
Bravo.
Louis Jordan song is better than how he is referencing that song.
Say that again.
It's very inoffensive.
And the thing is that it doesn't fit the theme of this song. Like, if you're gonna reference that song,
I don't know, Tracy,
do it in
like,
a
with
way that makes sense
Okay,
with
Heidi,
what
let it
it.
Heidi, I need you to back me up on this.
Let it go.
In the jazz world,
Yes.
all the time, people will be playing one song, and in their solo, they will play a bit of the melody from another song in the key of the current song. as a little kind of like
Like you'll be in the
Easter
middle.
egg.
That's
You'll
a
be in the middle
Yeah.
of take 5, and you get Linus and Lucy.
yeah.
Like what the
Yeah.
hell?
Well, yes, but that's because you're blending in from one thing to. This is like he is jumping from the coals into the ice polar water for absolutely no reason.
He's flipping
There's
it.
no connection.
He flipped it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think there's something. If you can,
I like what
if you can
Jim
get
did with
past
Paul Chambers, and
dramatically,
mentioning Kind of Blue.
I think
Like that's
if you just listen to the sound of the words, like for instance, if you just hate the word ain't or something like that, or if you don't like, grammar that you don't
As you
agree
is.
with, if you just listen to the sound, it's kind of like what Tolkien said about cellar door. Like it's not the words, it's not the meaning, it's just that the sounds are pleasing. So is you ain't, like it flows well. It kind of has that bouncy feel to it. It has a little punctuation kind of feeling to it. I think that was much more of something
the
that was done for
syncopation.
the oral aesthetics of it rather than textual
The
analysis.
syncopation works, but the words don't work in terms of the meaning.
I mean, I'm not going to fight for is you is or is you ain't, but I'm just saying I think it's a venial sin.
Well, and going for what he's trying to say with this song, it doesn't match up with what he's trying to say with this song. I'm kind of in the middle. Is you is or is you ain't? Well, now you're telling him he has to take sides. No, he's saying that I can be the middle.
Betsy.
And he's like,
wait, Betsy had an or.
Or maybe he's trying to egg you on. Maybe he's trying to do something that maybe feels like nails on a chalkboard so that you I lost
no, I think
but you know what I mean, like he's like, okay, this is uncomfortable at first, but maybe if you consider it.
Yeah, or if
it actually
I think the best interviewers say approach things from a neutral stance, even if they have strong feelings on one side or the other, because they can kind of coax a more true response, a real response from their interviewee, and maybe engage with their ideas instead of talking points.
I can kind of see it.
You don't have to like it.
Like the loops that we have to go through to get to that.
Too many.
Just don't work for me.
It feels for Tracy.
It just feels like Ed is really. He is trying too hard here, or not trying hard enough.
I was going to say,
other.
Probably.
Like, it feels like lazy writing.
It could have been,
to be honest.
I mean,
but if he's doing it with what Betsy said, then he's going way too far out in left field with the meta.
Well, if indeed he did it for the reasons I think, which was kind of the audio aesthetic of it all, it could have been like a little placeholder. Like that was how Douglas Adams wrote "Know Where Your Towel
Scrambled
Is."
eggs.
That was a shorthand for him to come back and basically find and replace that with something better. But he ended up just keeping it because he kind of liked it, the absurdity of it. So it could have been something like that.
But that works.
It's like a Paul McCartney scrambled eggs thing for yesterday.
Now it's iconic.
Yes, agreed with Heidi. It works because of the book. Like if that was outside the context of the book, if I said to you, if you've never read that book before, and I said, "Now there's a guy who really knows where his towel is," you wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Well, exactly.
It's like
all right, there is one other line that I want to punch up a little bit, and that's the subliminal line.
Okay,
I love that line.
Or just the word, I should say.
Like
the rest of the line makes sense, but then you have this word that he just sounds like he's throwing a word into rhyme that has nothing to do with the rest of the sentence.
Okay.
So what?
I'm going to disagree.
Go ahead, give me. I would love to hear it. Maybe that Pinnacle's
I have
unwinnable subliminal.
In the context that I have assigned this song, it's subliminal. I think it's referring to the fact that if somebody. So again, I do think that the song was meant to be interpreted as a wider like call for empathy and understanding and try to see other people's perspectives. But I think he's coming at it from the point of someone who has had like genteel, like polite arguments or disagreements with people who were trying to convert him or convince him of a faith or something like that. So I think he's kind of applying that framework. And if somebody is entrenched, now whether it's politics or religion or anything else, you can get really, really firmly entrenched in a point, and it becomes subliminal. You don't even listen to what other people are saying, kind of like Betsy was saying earlier, right? You're just kind of screaming over each other or letting each other talk, or you're waiting for your chance to talk. So I think that's the subliminal element of it. It's kind of just always in the back of their head. This is my worldview is the default, standard, normal. Everyone else is weird and must be convinced otherwise. I think that's what subliminally a lot of people think that. I don't think they're like out there thinking it, at the forefront of their minds, but I think in the back of their head that's just kind of the assumption.
But it doesn't kind of go with the line before it of maybe this Pinnacle's unwinnable.
Well, that's what he's saying. Like I think he might be saying sometimes it feels like when we're talking to someone like that it's a no-win situation. We'll never convince them, and maybe we won't. But we should probably still try if we're trying to, spread an idea that we think would make the world better or help someone. That's just my interpretation.
Let's keep it in there. I still want to punch
Put a pin
it
in
up.
it.
I think it would have been punched. It would have been better if everyone else, if all the other guys at a lower volume had said subliminal.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Or backmask it, so you had to put it on. They had to release a vinyl. You had to play the record backwards. And
yes, do something interesting with that.
Oh.
Question mark. Oh, you got a heart.
No, I was trying to do what Heidi was doing. Sorry. Proceed. The visual doesn't make for good audio. Sorry.
I do want to talk really quickly about the acoustic version. Did you guys get the acoustic?
I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
It's not an arena banger.
Like it was a blander black and white version to me. So
I agree. I don't even know how it got released. I can't find it anywhere.
Tracy. Big hugs and kisses. We finally agree on something.
I happen to find it.
Kinship. Consensus.
Where I found it on the internet, but where did they ever release the acoustic version?
I don't know, but that video that went with it was super weird. But if you watch it, the cars go to the rhythm. So when it's like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really weird. But it's like somebody said, put in an AI generator, take a road and some person, and then add rhythm to the car going across. Like, it was so weird.
Interesting. I'll have to watch that.
And we should also talk about the video.
Music video.
The flip book, or the pop-up book.
Yeah, it was cute.
So it was done by Stefano Bertelli of Scene Film. He's from Rovigno, Italy, and he did it with Riccardo Orlandi. He's been doing these kind of music videos for quite some time. He's done them for She and Him, also done them from NSYNC, Robbie Williams, The Shins. He's done one of Pink Floyd. I don't know if Pink Floyd commissioned him to do it or if he put it on his website as a way to get people to want to see it. Wow. He also did one for Eminem. So, worked with some pretty famous people.
And the line that you mentioned liking, I believe you mentioned this, Tracy, in the rap, the animal, vegetable, or mineral, that was Betsy. Yeah. I think you agreed that you liked it. But it's kind of Eminem-like in the sense that the internal rhyming, which is always what appealed to me. I think Eminem's a master of burying rhymes, not just at the end of his couplets, but inside of them. Really, really cool.
It's fucking hot. It's on fire.
The other video and the spinning and all that. This video is one of my favorite things to watch. I could watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
find something new.
The only bad thing about it is it makes me want to buy more of those cards that pop up that are $15 a piece. That's the only bad thing. It's really cute, though.
I wrote that this is probably the best music video that they've done. It's definitely the best they've done for years, and it's probably one of the best one that they've ever done.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it's up there as far as the recent ones. What was it? New Disaster. It's kind of up there with New Disaster for me. It's similar in a sense.
Different feel, but yeah.
Yep. And he also has been. This is the first music video he's done that did the pop-up book effect. And so I don't know if you guys know, there was a behind the scenes of how this was made. And for the roller coaster part where the band is where you get the pictures of the band doing, and it's kind of stop motion-y, they actually recorded the band in front of a green screen, printed out each individual picture, cut it out, and put it into the paper scenarios.
Dave Coulier, we know you listen. Come on the show.
Cut it out. That's very
Alanis
clever.
Morissette,
That's very
we
stop
know you listen.
motion.
Please come on the show.
And Ed says that when they're doing music videos, they never lip sync, because if you lip sync when you're doing a music video, it looks fake.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if it's stop motion anyway, it's not like we're going to really hold them to their lips syncing to that. But yeah, okay. We expect some choppiness, I guess.
Well, why don't we take a moment and put some numbers to this? What should we give it for a rating system?
Is you isn't.
Is you isn't.
I love you, Tracy. That's just my.
I mean, I was gonna say flips, but I kind of like
down,
is you
yeah.
isn't.
I kind of like that too.
I like.
I mean, flips is what I want to give you right
The old
now.
review.
Oh, flip you off.
Is you ain'ts. You can do is you ain'ts.
How many middle fingers
No,
do we
no.
give Betsy?
How many steeples? You can do steeples.
Steeples.
Hey, you know where you can put those fingers, buddy. You know, right?
Wow.
Lovingly.
With lots of love and lots of lube.
Yeah, I know. Or none.
Or not.
Or none.
The choice is
Depending
entirely
on
up
your
to you.
kink, you know.
Yeah. You decide.
Heidi is now uncomfortable.
Okay, steeples is another choice. But I mean, really. Oh, hey, Griswold.
Let's go with steeples. I think that's better than the middle finger.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
How many Griswolds?
Oh, that's just my leg. That's my leg. Come here, you little shit.
We are
No,
now
but
getting
you're so
shots
fat.
Why
of
are you so
Heidi's of Betsy's leg.
Why are you so
Such a
fat?
fat little
I'm
grease lightning.
Oh, Heidi's
Wow.
got the
I
steeples
found
button.
the steeples.
Betsy, I'm gonna stand up for you on that she should not
What?
have said that.
Huh?
No, that's a movie
yeah, no, I'm
reference.
not
Wait,
as
what?
fat as I used to be. It's right. What? Who's calling people
No,
fat?
that's a movie
I love you all.
reference.
There's no offense.
What is the movie though? Oh, it was it's from One Crazy Summer with Bobcat Goldthwait. Where
Yes.
sorry, and
He was just at that Stephen
was
Page
this
summer
story
camp
about
thing.
you? And he's like, no, I used to take that kid. I go, why do people not know that movie anymore? Because it's hilarious.
I just don't have all the
It
time
is a
to
pretty
watch
amazing
every
movie.
I still haven't watched Spinal Tap. It's sad.
Oh man,
I know. I'm so sorry.
that's all right.
We'll have to remedy
Sue me
that.
the sun.
I didn't watch Fight Club until last year.
I'm not ever gonna watch that.
Well, getting to the numbers, since you brought up Spinal Tap, we're not gonna bring this to 11. We're gonna keep it between 0 and 5.
Sorry.
1 to 5 steeples.
1 to 5 steeples.
0 to 5 steeples, not 11. We're not going up to 11.
Nah, I understand the reference from Spinal
Captain America.
So Heidi, why don't we start with you this week? How many steeples do you give the song?
I really like this song. I do. I think I'm going to give it 4.8 steeples.
Wow.
Yeah, it makes me happy, and I'm so glad we had such a happy and upbeat song today. So, and I love that it opened the album, and I felt so great. I was like, this is just jamming, and I really enjoy it. So, and it is on my playlist. So there you go. 4.8.
Nice.
Fire! Sorry, Ohio
4.8
players came into my head.
For me.
As they do.
All right, Betsy, how about you?
No, I have to recalculate now. You're gonna have to
Recalculating?
Aaron, how about you?
Recalculating.
Recalculating.
Well. Now is the time.
Well.
Now is the time where past prudence is paid at the expense of present pride, because thank you. I try. I really like this song too. I do not like it as much as Pollywog in a Bog. And I do compare it to that for multiple reasons, even though one is for the children's album, one is not. But I do think that there's some spiritual similarity between these two songs, no pun intended. So I gave Pollywog in a Bog a 4.05. So I'm going to have to, because I do think this deserves to be on the playlist, I'm going to have to give Flip 4 steeples. However, Tracy, I'm making an official request. Please put an asterisk next to this song and Pollywog in a Bog for me, because I think I was not as kind to Pollywog in a Bog as I should have been, even though I love the song, obviously. But I think it might deserve a higher rating, which might allow me to bump this one up in retrospect at the end of the year. I'm just earmarking it for now. I'm highlighting it.
All right. I have highlighted both those songs to come back to in a few weeks.
The end of the year. That's when it'll happen.
Betsy.
Yeah, sure. Well, going into this, I was thinking 3.5. But after talking to you fine people, I feel my score has been lifted. I just really like the idea of free exchange of ideas. And just, having like a really good conversation with open-minded people is really a core value of mine. And I mean, this
you like talking with me too, right?
Well, stop interrupting me, first of all. I got the stage. I'm gonna let you finish. But no, I think yes, including you, Tracy. Of course. So, and it's never easy to talk about these hot topic issues like religion and animals and vegetables and minerals. So, I think I really kind of appreciate this song more than I did before.
Nice.
I kind of, went into this episode. So I think I would give it a 4.2.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say that this video is one of my favorites all the time, but we are not allowed to rank the song based on the video. So
Tracy's rules.
I really like this song so much. It's catchy. It feels like a classic Maroon or E2E tune. It has a really great bridge. I love that it differs enough from the rest of the song that it feels like we're taking a break, but we're coming back to it. And it does pull your attention in so that you're listening to what the basic boiled down version of or memo of the song is. But you don't get whiplash from it either. And Tyler's drum fills are amazing. Now, I've said that it doesn't stay on topic, but Aaron has convinced me throughout this thing that, I think that he's probably pretty on. Even though Ed said that what it's about, in that article, he made so many religious references. I agree with you, Aaron, that I think that he was doing it through this other lens as well. He just didn't want to get lambasted probably by saying it in an article. And I like this much better than I like the other religious songs that he's kind of really come out and slapped us in the face with it. Are there some missed opportunities that, yes, that, it's in there. But I really like the flips, and I like this is a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It's engaging. It's fun at concerts. I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh, well, that's respectable. Right. Okay, good.
And, guys, what group of people I would like to see listen to this song?
Crap, here we go.
Oh, I have ideas, but go ahead.
Flat Earthers.
Yes! That's where it's going with it.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know.
Have you heard?
No,
have you heard the
I'm
song?
I'm very excited though. I love the.
Oh yeah. It's
It's
You
going to
won't
be an
be
interesting
disappointed.
discussion next week.
You won't
I'm
be
excited.
disappointed.
I'm excited for this.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. This really is the highlight of my week. I love talking to you guys, and it brings a smile to me every time.
Big hug, big group hug.
On my face.
I love you guys.
Better.
Have a great week.
See you next time.
The Jeremiah Show is proudly featured on Pantheon Podcasts. Don't miss an exciting episode of The Jeremiah Show. You're invited to the world of pop culture, music icons, and food gods. Find Jeremiah at thejeremiahshow.com or on all social networks and back catalogs at Linktree, Jeremiah D. Higgins.
I am Miles Zuniga from Fastball.
And we are a girl named Tom.
Hi, I'm Marielle Hemingway.
Hi, this is Chef Melissa King from Top Chef All Stars.
Hi there, everybody. This is Ann H.
Hi, I'm Shadow Stevens. I'm having a great time on The Jeremiah Show, the greatest show in the history of the world.
The Jeremiah Show is brought to you by Evolve Entertainment Network, Pantheon Podcasts, and Radio Candy Media.
I do hope you enjoyed that interview. I'm sorry that Jeremiah is so hopeless. I did made a real effort to sort of get through the sludge and the drudgery and the cliches and the second-rate ideas. I hope I didn't disappoint you too much. And as far as Jeremiah is concerned, do write in, because if you do, we can do something about this.